how to interact with your wife if you're in the get her back scenario and you guys are still talking, the number one thing that you have to think about is really a mindset shift. You have to be able to approach every single interaction with her understanding that she is in a flight mode. So the great question that you want to ask yourself before you have any conversation with her, you want to run this litmus test by yourself. You want to say, is what I'm going to do right now going to push her further away from me, or is it going to make her and help her feel safe and she's going to want to come towards me? A lot of guys in this scenario, you're anxious and you're overwhelmed, and out of that state of being anxious and overwhelmed, you're going to want to shame her, you're going to want to judge her, you're going to want to condemn her for being bad, that she's pulling away, and ultimately all of those things are going to just send her running for the hills, and you're not going to be able to get her back.
Which is the good point where we bring up the five enemies of intimacy with our wives during this time. No arguing, no debating, no lecturing, no yelling, and no belittling. And I think those five is what we see when men turn into that fight or flight within themselves. And so that approach doesn't, like you said, bring them closer. We've seen that. It does the opposite. It pushes them away. And so we have to fight that urge as men to want to just profess or confess what our point of view is. And really the approach is, you're still dialoguing with her, she's still in this. This is the time to really win these moments and really make sure that she understands that yes, you're in this in a different way, not how it used to be.
It's a great point, Joe. So guys, it's the 5 enemies of intimacy. We have to be aware of that in all of our interactions right now. If you're still interacting with your wife, it is such a blessing. Feel thankful for that. Approach every situation thinking about these 5 enemies of intimacy and knowing that your wife is scared, she's hurt, and she's looking for a reason to keep running away from you. Give her a reason to stay grounded. Think about the things that Joe mentioned. You gotta stay grounded and making sure that you're not sending her running for the hills.
Quentin, I know you've seen this many times with men that you've worked with. And if there's just that one thing that you want them to start with when it comes to interacting to them in a new way that creates that hope, not just in him, but also in her, what would that be, you feel like?
It's really about setting aside your own needs and being deferential to what she needs right now. Because remember, you're filled with anxiety, you're terrified, you want to reclaim the relationship, and we understand that. But what we have to do is we have to be great leaders for our wives and for our families right now. And being a great leader is knowing how to set aside our own emotions, our own desires, even the desire to reclaim the marriage. We're going to set that aside and we're going to be completely deferential to what it is that she needs and the anxiety that she's experiencing.
And this is a great point, which is it starts with the mindset. Me believing I could be the man that she needs for me to be. Me believing that there's opportunity for us to actually stay here and make this marriage work for us or for our family. It's the mindset change of believing that I can confidently go in there and actually do and become the man, the hero in her life that maybe right now I don't know, but after these videos, I will become that. And also changing the mindset of recognizing all the good in her. Because I think a lot of the men we work with, sometimes in these situations, they get a little bit critical and they think, well, this is not all about me. She's got problems, she's got issues too. And we're saying, fight those lies, fight that sense of mindset, and start creating that sense of confirmation bias in your marriage. Recognize, walking in the room, what is she doing well? What is she doing that I love? What are the little things that I have not been appreciative of for a long time that I need to start noticing? Because you and I both know it is the breadcrumbs of the marriage, not the loaf, that matters.
It's a great point, Joe. So guys, the very big principle that we want you to take away is that your anxiety is your enemy right now. Your anxiety is going to cause you to move towards the relationship in a destructive way. We got to learn how to manage the anxiety that we experience. We have an anxiety course available to you if you want to learn how to deal with this in the moment. But I want you to think about your anxiety as being your enemy right now, and your anxiety is going to cause you to move forward when you need to stay still and grounded. See you on the next video.